both got. I just, man, they're those regret trades, right? Or not the regret trades, but just the ones you wish you could have back.
That sounds like a regret trade.
Yeah, but when I go back and I look at them, they're good trades, right? So J.P. Morgan sells off all day long. Where?
Is this going to be weird? I'm going to do something weird. Oh, are we about to go live on YouTube?
We are actually live, Peter.
Oh,
Welcome to everybody out there. We're already live.
Hello.
You were given a good explanation, so I just went live right away.
I usually ask our traders.
My trade's not here.
Hopefully this is oversharing, but wow, there's a big delay, and you can't see them even because of my background. Mm-hmm. So I keep these in my office. I know a lot of people do things like this. Oh, hold on a sec.
There we go.
Take the image out.
There it is. I was like, what happened to my trades?
I keep these in my office. Anyone know what these are? Huh? Because sometimes I just gotta drop and give myself 20. Oh my God! Look at Microsoft now. What the?
Where's it at now?
Oh my goodness! Look at the market. Oh, I should have gone short.
Oh, there we go.
Oh my God, Hans. Yeah, but did you act on it? You were calling this.
Peter, if you're long and you're in Microsoft, drop and give me 20 now.
Yeah, well, I'll drop you 20 anyways.
You definitely got out at the right time, that's for sure.
Yeah. So I like keeping these in my office because I find it actually helps. You know, it gives a little blood flow to the brain. You just drop, just do some push-ups. Gives you just a little boost of energy so I can focus and pay attention.
I thought they were cantaloupe slices.
Oh, because of the bottom? That thing?
Oh, that's awesome.
That's no, that's no, they're my push-up bars. Of course, I don't really need them to do push-ups, I suppose, but I find it helps because you get to go longer range of motion.
Yeah.
No, I do not have big guns. It's like the beach is that way, you know, like those guys that we gotta. No, that's not. I don't do it for that. I'm too old to build guns. I have to do this. I have to go and like here. We'll you know how you push it up from behind. Hey, look. I remember doing that as a kid. Do you remember doing that in grade school? You'd be like, yeah, look at my big muscles, and you're like pushing it up from behind. Makes it look all impressive. Anyways.
There we go. Nice sell-off into the close again.
Oh, Chris used to do similar things. Hand wrist surgery for being run over by a truck. Damn, I do not have a truck running me over story. So. Well, I'm glad I got out of that Microsoft long. That was good. I sort of wish I'd reversed it. Oh, AMD, and I was looking at AMD for a potential reversal too, but it's right back down at 82. Ugh.
Apple went to sell off too. I've been looking at Apple all afternoon. I thought it might make another run up here. Right here at 415, I almost got in. I had an order at 43.11, and it stopped right there at 43.10. And then it's just kind of consolidated and went down. So I'm glad it didn't go 1 cent higher. I would have been...
Yeah, Mike, you could be right. Because you're right. This is not, as I'm looking at it. This is my trade into the close that I like the momentum one. And I missed it. missed it because I was looking at the chart wrong. Thought the market was going to go higher, though, into the close. It didn't feel like it at the time.
It did, though. I would agree with you, Peter. It did look like it wanted to go higher. And just the sell-off wasn't sharp enough right away. So for earnings this afternoon, since we got nobody in a trade, we'll go over that real quick. We have Cisco, SDC, and Lyft. So I think Lyft's the big one that's out there.
Cisco never trades well. I've never been able to get it to trade well.
Yeah. Then tomorrow morning, there really isn't anything a lot like this morning, just not stuff that we typically trade. So Lyft, though,
Yeah,
Lyft may be interesting. It releases at 4:05. So
they usually release like the day before Uber, right? So Uber's must be out tomorrow then?
nah, Uber, I would have picked that up unless they're. I think they may be next week.
Oh, no.
Because
Apparently I'm completely off November. No, wait. They must have just released them. It says
yeah, they
November
must
5th.
have.
So
Yeah. So there's
third
nothing
quarter.
tomorrow morning.
So when did they release? They must have released the other day. Like they're already out.
Yeah, I thought we had. I thought Uber reported last week, or maybe it was this week.
Did they?
Yeah.
Let's see here. Uber posts $1 billion loss the 7th. Oh, okay. So they reported on
Oh, there you go.
Friday morning. Huh. All right. All right. Never mind. You can get me a Brian latte here. Get a trade on like a latte of it.
The Brian. Oh yeah, because he's probably at the coffee shop now, huh?
I don't know.
So.
That's my measure. That's my new R is measured in lattes. I want a 5 latte trade.
I wouldn't mind a 5 latte trade right now. Wonder if the SPY is going to pause here right at VWAP before it. I just think we're running into the same thing. It didn't quite push up to the all-time high. Do people want to keep their money in? Do they want to take it out? Try it again tomorrow? Today's the middle Wednesday of the month, isn't it? I bet you anything it is. Sorry, random thought. Middle.
What does that mean? Middle Wednesday.
The middle Wednesday, so, and yep, it is. So, statistically speaking, and I have no idea why this is, but the middle Wednesday is typically my worst trading day of the month. Always. Month after month.
Okay.
The middle Wednesday. I don't know why.
That seems very random.
That's going to be my question for Dr. Katz tomorrow. So, Dr. Katz,
Yeah.
statistically speaking,
If you can answer that, like, is it by a wide margin or is it just
by a
like
wide
you
margin?
Just
by
a wide margin. So
yeah, like my largest loss day of every month seems to always on the middle Wednesday of the month. There's been like 2 months that the largest was like on a Friday of that week, but typically it is the middle Wednesday.
So what would happen if you just, not trade on the middle
Yeah,
Wednesday?
I'm gonna put that into place after today. Well, do you have bills? Well, I might have bills, Mike, but my wife takes care of all my bills, so I have no idea when they're due. If my wife passes, I'm in trouble.
Oh, crap. What just
The,
happened?
the bill collector would be calling me and be like, I didn't know it was due. What date do you want your payment? Oh, okay. Let me write that down.
Well, if they're calling you, it was probably, sometime earlier.
Yeah.
So right now, it would be the answer. I made a boo-boo here, and I don't know what happened. So I'm going to get out at break even because I don't like it. Ugh.
Is that Microsoft?
Yeah.
Oh.
I thought I was hitting the button just below 209, and I got filled at 209.12. I'm like, what the heck? Obviously,
Yes,
I was
hon.
not fully paying attention.
Mine simply
Yeah,
because I've deployed so much, so me and my wife, we never, once we transferred like control of the finances, was like, why am I giving it back to you? You're always gone. Okay. Works for me.
All right. Well,
Yeah, Apple is. I don't know what Apple wants to do today.
I didn't get a pullback. Look at this. Another chicken out trade. Oh, my goodness. Should have just kept my shares.
Apple's just kind of. I think maybe going into the close, it might just kind of be there, settling back. Because the SPY tested VWAP, what, once in the morning, once about 1:30, and then it went down to test it again, but didn't even touch it. Or it could be the.
What meetings do I have today? All right. Boeing. What are you going to do here, Boeing? What's the market going to do? Everybody AMD.
I forgot all about Boeing too.
Ugh. See, Microsoft. I got uncomfortable because I don't know how I got such a terrible fill, but it would have still worked nicely.
Boeing 175, 70. Yeah. I had 3 trades today. Well, actually, I had like 6 total trades, but 3 trades. Boeing, JP Morgan, and my second Microsoft trade. All were for my partial and stopped out at break even and then sit back and watch the run go all day. Those are the worst, because you're just like, because then you start questioning. Yeah, like should you get out at break even? Why did I get out at break even? And the answer is because tomorrow, when you don't get out of break even, it's going to plummet $3 on you.
Right. Exactly.
That is the correct answer for it.
I had a bunch of those today where I did some live here, in fact, with our members. I got out. I took a partial too early, which then led me to get out of break even. When if I hadn't taken an early partial, I could have stayed in for the move. So again, completely trade management issues on my part. But
Yeah.
yeah, look at that. Look at that.
So I'm hoping that when I go back, I look at it and just say, yep, market just didn't want to give you anything today. It wanted to take it away.
The market giveth and the market taketh away.
Yep. So I will accept you.
Blessed be the traders that keep their money in their account. And their hands in their pocket when the trading is choppy.
Brian, he dropped off. I think he's at the coffee shop, so he's probably doing some charity work that he does around that area. Nice Microsoft trade. So I guess now would be a good time before we get to that 350 candle to bring up the member trade of the day.
Oh, I'd love to see that. Let's do that.
So today's member trade of the day comes from our very own stock operator on Tesla. And you are reading that correctly. That is not options. That would be he traded it 4 shares. So he went off of the notion of Apple's stock split. So he had a long bias. He waited for the sell-off at the beginning of the market, and then when it reclaimed VWAP and tested and held, he entered as it broke. I think previous day close is where that dash line is, or that might be a support line that he had, and he rode it up for a very nice move all the way up. So excellent trade.
Well, I know he took at least 6 shares because he's got 6 partials on there.
So.
So.
So that takes some definite confidence in your strategy and trade to be entering in on a stock that highly priced and expect to get a big move like that. So excellent trade to stock operator out there.
Well done.
Yes. And then for everybody in the room that would like to submit a member trade of the day, by all means, go ahead, take a screenshot of your best trade, mark it up, and submit it to @BearBullTraders, @MikeB_BBT, and @NormBBT. You can also use the hashtag BBT family. That's where we look for the trades, so we know that you're officially submitting them. And that way we have your integrity-based live trade that's on there. And then the winner for each day will be submitted for the weekly trade of the week that goes on Friday for a wonderful $100 Amazon gift card from Bearable Traders. It goes out to the winner. And then this evening, as a matter of fact, we have a webinar that is actually going to be open to all members, and we will be live streaming it on YouTube today, this evening, and that is Robert Green from Green Trader Tax. He will be telling us all about the advantages of trader tax status, what it requires, the minimum, the rules, and the regulations. And yes, this is mainly for those that are in the U.S. based, as he is a U.S. based CPA. But you never know. He may be able to answer some of your other questions if you're outside. And then next week, we will have Kreda. She'll be doing her introduction to us, as well as talking about finding a mental edge. And she's heading up the mental edge department. in the new psychology center that we're restructuring. So she's going to deal with specifically how to kind of do self-reflection, identify those key component areas that you're having a mental struggle with, aka maybe staying in the trade, taking an early partial, whatever that may be, and applying a method or techniques to help you improve in that. So she's going to be there. So looking forward to that. And that will be at 8 p.m. Eastern as well. So.
Oh no. Oh no.
And it sounds like Peter is trading Microsoft. Whoa! Look at that spike.
I know. Look, it happens all the time.
Had to be that 350 candle. I honestly think today it's with the relative volume being so low on Microsoft. Because it has had some weird pullbacks that the stock just typically, I don't expect out of it. I mean, you see that big wick. Yeah. It had that big wick. It did one of those big wicks right at the opening as well.
Wow, that was just scary. That wick almost ruined my whole trade. I thought it was going to wick down because the day has been strong, so I thought it'd be people jumping out, but apparently not. It's going to go up all the time, no matter what's going on.
Are you still in the trade, Peter?
No, I'm out. I went short a little earlier at 209.11, and then I was taking partials, and then I thought it was going to wick down, and I thought I'd take advantage, but then it wicked all the way up to 209.60, so it was like 50 cents above my entry almost. So I just waited for it to come back to my break even, and I got all out.
So Kyle has a good question. Double bottom reversal today. He kept trying to trade it during the first hour, but it kept failing. I know that's you have the mountain pass. It kind of works for a double bottom. I'm not sure if Brian's here. I don't typically trade the double bottoms. I'm not good at getting the bottom reversals. I'm much better at the top reversals. But do you see anything in that first hour that kind of, with MNRA, that just kind of threw him off, Peter?
MNRA. Well, let's take a peek at MNRA specifically. Today was a bad day for the mountain pass. Like normally often it works, but today I was finding that it just wasn't setting up, and it obviously there was no follow through. So MNRA in the first hour, so 9:30 to 10:30 roughly.
Yep.
I mean, I see some double bottom trades that I only see one that frankly could have worked, but I'd be curious to see your trade if you post them, because I don't see anything particular with MNRA that is different than a lot of other stocks were today or on any other given day. What I do see is that the double bottoms kept failing, right? Because it would make a bottom and then it would come back, so you get the pullback, and then it would come and make a new lower bottom. Well, now that's invalidated the pattern, so you got to wait, and it makes another one, okay, and that's again lower, so it's still going down, right? So you have to. Once you got to make sure it bounces. That's the whole point of the double bottom. It's got to bounce and go higher, or you can't count it as a double bottom. Which is why I always wait for the close of that first candle after the bottom at least. Don't take it to the second candle, maybe even the third. So.
Yeah, and mRNA, it sold off really hard in the beginning too, which could have made it very, very difficult as well.
Right. I mean, the only one I see where there was a bottom at 9.56 and then the second bottom at 10.11 on mRNA, and then so like I said, wait for the close of that first candle after the bottom. So the second one would have been at 10.13. You had to suffer a little bit of a pullback, but you would have survived. But notice it couldn't even break. It didn't even touch the 50 moving average. So that would have been a warning sign for me. When it didn't break through after probably the third candle, somewhere around 10.22, I definitely would have been taking a partial, and then would have been stopped out back at break even when it broke back down. So had I been watching M&RA, that probably would have been the anatomy of my trade on that. So wouldn't have worked terribly well, but could have got something out of it.
Microsoft doing its thing, spike up, settle accounts, and go lower into the close.
Oh, damn, I could have held my trade. Well, actually, it came back up here. Would have been red.
Yeah, Kyle, it was a tough day for follow through.
I found it was a tough day overall. Like I was really hoping for a nice rebound day after yesterday, but I didn't really get it.
Yeah,
I mean,
here's my
I ended up green
JP.
yesterday.
Yeah, here's my JP Morgan trade. Break of the low of the day that happened right about here. I got filled. Got the partials right where I like them, and then wicked up, wicked out, and of course it runs down for the rest of the morning. And just keeps on going. Same with my Microsoft trade. I got burned on my first one because I was too quick. Here, this is what happens. This is why you should always wait for your setup and never give in to the fear. So right here is fear. Here is fear of missing out right here. This is fear of missing out. Got your pre-market high. No, this is my setup except for one very key. There was two things I was missing. One, everything's moving up. You got the pre-market high that's here, which is great, which is what I've really zeroed in on. And I put the order in. But what I failed is Microsoft One at that point was only at like 40% RVOL on the day. Totally didn't even look at it. Then, if you look at the candles, the volume candles, notice how it's selling, and then the white. I like the rise into the candle, which is kind of my second trade here, where it's white rising and then the third one going in and it pops up. And because I took this loss here, right, because my stop is going to be at the engulfing of that candle, and because it was so wicky, I gave it an extra. I actually gave it just a round dollar stop loss. So took half my risk for the day in that one. But then when I took this, I was just so already psychologically harmed from this. I was like, hey, I need to take this quick partial. And then out at break even, and then it runs up to 209 or whatever it did today, not even coming close. But here again, if you look, right, here's that crazy wick candle, Peter. Yeah, on Microsoft again, in the middle of the day, where it was moving up, spiked down, and back up. Which is what we kind of talk about.
Did it print along the way, or it must have, or you wouldn't see a wick. But did you see did the level 2 show that, or did it just print those?
That I could not tell you. Maybe somebody else can, because after I got stopped out and started moving up, I actually went to start looking at the JP Morgan trade. I was looking at JP Morgan there. So this trade,
you and me were wasting time, because I was watching Wells Fargo, and JP Morgan and Wells Fargo sort of moved the same, but I don't know, it felt like a waste of time.
Yep. And then here, this was not a good trade because of the volume setup. Not my volume setup, no RVOL. This was a good trade. Absolutely, probably took an early partial. I should have waited until this yesterday or 2 days ago, high or low. I should have waited to there to take the partial. I would have survived that pullback and would have been off to the races. But this really did me in. And then from there, it was grinding. JP Morgan, again, same thing on it. And then BA got me the same way. But all three of them ran. But because of that bad trade in the beginning, I was just taking partials too early today. So.
And Thor keeps throwing compliments how, he wants to trade like others. But then I look at him and I'm like, geez, I just want to trade like you.
Yeah, Thor.
Got that AMD, just, god damn, that was phenomenal.
Yeah. Because for me, it's, I think I got out. It's not too bad though. I ended up, because I started out already at half my max loss for the day with that Microsoft trade, and I think I ended up only probably down 25% of what my max loss is. So not too bad of a day. Definitely the worst of August so far, but it's just when you have that bad trade to start out with that you look back and go, why did you take that trade? And you identify it, and it's you were fearful because the last 2 days when Microsoft broke that pre-high level, it ran up and you were thinking about the profits instead of your setup. So
Again, you notice the answer is all psychologically based, right?
Yep,
So
it is.
what did I just do?
So what do we got here? So, and I wanted to make sure I got some bad trades out there for people to see, because a lot of times they only see us with the good trades on here. So
I show them bad trades all the time.
that's my. We'll put Lyft up there for everybody.
I think I just made a boo-boo.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Are you in something after hours?
No. I thought I overwrote one of my daily logs. But I think I'm okay.
Yeah. Dr. Katz will be here tomorrow, King. That's for sure. I need him, for sure.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so let's go. There's a question here I want to
Apparently, you
get
and
back
Andrew
to.
need him too.
Yeah, Andrew does
Peter.
too. We have to invite Andrew to the closing bell show tomorrow, Brian.
Yeah. I think we all need them. I'm struggling too the last 2 days, so we all need we need like a big triple couch we can all lie down on.
Yeah.
So Hans is asking, so when the price action returns up into the first peak's price action on Mountain Pass, how much less likely is it to work out compared to Mountain Pass? At the second peak's price action doesn't quite reach that of the first peak. When you say price action, are you talking about the actual price level or the volume against the price? If you're just talking about the price level, I don't know. I can't answer that. I mean, I have to admit my strategy is a little bit of eyeballing. I want it within a few cents. I find it works best when it's within a few cents, but that few cents varies based on the stock, right? Like a stock like Tesla, for example, that could be a few dollars compared to AMD, where I literally want it within like 3 or 4 cents. So it depends on the stock. It's got to be close enough that it feels like it actually retested that initial top. So maybe a good rule of thumb would be it needs to come within 2 times the spread. How about that? That should be a general rule of thumb. So if your spread is 2 to 3 cents, then it should come within 6 cents. If it's 1 to 2 cents like AMD, it should come within 4. On Tesla, where your spread could be $1, then it only has to come within $2. But that would just be a general finger to the wind rule. I think I'm answering your question. All right, after hours here though. Let's see what we got. Earnings. The only thing we were looking at was Lyft. I think you had said, right?
Yeah, Lyft. I pulled that up. Thanks, Craigie. I'm definitely going to take a vacation next Wednesday in the mid-September. I'll be on the closing bell show with a beer just for that.
Hey, you can have a beer any day you want. I mean,
yeah, I know, but I'm going to toast to that day, that I didn't lose money and that it cannot be my biggest day. I just won't let the market take my money on that day. Lyft, still haven't heard or seen anything on Lyft yet. They still got a minute or so, but it looks like people are anticipating not good earnings, or they're getting ready to.
You're anticipating not good. Alright, I'm going to save this as my default. It's time to make the leap. Am I sharing? Sharing, so screw everybody up.
And now we're back up. Their earnings got released on the computer. Now they're trying to process it, I bet. All the computers got their algorithms going.
They certainly do. Lyft, yeah, a little bit of a drop. It's not really that exciting.
No. I'm hoping tomorrow will be a much better day than the last 2 days. Hopefully we'll get a little bit better price action.
Yeah, no, it's
Nothing
okay,
with
Hans.
Lyft.
Don't worry about asking. Feel that I can, yeah. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna be journaling all night.
That was like me yesterday, Peter.
Well, I guess it's not that bad. I only have 5 tickers. I just have a lot of trades per ticker.
Hi. Yeah, I got 6 tickers today myself. No, 4.
No, on
4 with
Microsoft-
7 trades.
Oh, okay. Microsoft and Apple, I'm going to have a lot of trades.
Still don't see anything out on Lyft. So Hans, Toronto, they've done a meetup there, haven't you all?
Oh, we've done a couple in Toronto, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yes, indeed.
looks like Lyft might have reported now. Yep. So Lyft miss earnings per share is negative 141 on Lyft. And they had a sales beat of 336 million. Or not, a beat of 3 million over their estimate. So Benzinga says earnings per share 141. Earnings Whispers had their estimate at 158 negative. So moving up and down, not too bad.
All right, I got some work to do. Some of my charities for some meetings tonight, so I better run.
All
Hey,
right,
congrats,
Peter.
by the way, Mike. Your team took the championship
Yes.
yesterday, so I was
Thank you,
surprised
Peter.
to see you trading. I thought maybe you were celebrating, but it was done pretty early for you, actually, because it was done
Yeah.
relatively early for me.
I kind of would have hoped that they should have played later, and then I wouldn't have traded this Wednesday, and it would have been a good Wednesday. But that's okay. We'll remember that for tomorrow. But so to everybody out on you, we're gonna remember that next month. Wednesday, I'm not trading it. I'm putting it in my calendar too. The day before that
That's
Wednesday,
right.
I can go out and drink beer and have fun.
We'll have to remind you so you don't get
Yeah.
into a bad day. So Lyft is on its
So-
way up here. All right. Well, take care, everyone. Have a good night. Thanks, Mike, and I will talk to you
Yep.
guys tomorrow.
Thank you, and thank you everybody.